So, I'm going to talk some more about the bailout, because it's funny and interesting. Yes, it is. I'm sure you guys already know by now, because many of you guys who watch my videos tend to be the type to keep up with current events. Bill passed. Went through the Senate. We knew this was going to happen. I mean, I'm hearing that they're still wrangling with the bill. It's got to still pass one more house, get voted on. But yeah, it still went past one of them. And we knew that was going to happen. Hell, I said it in the last freaking video they were going to force it past it. Though, to be honest, I said sneak past it. This time they didn't even bother sneaking it. They just blasted it through. And from what I've seen, it's pretty much the same damn bill as the last one. All they really did was add some extra provisions about insurance for some of the investments, and put in some type of stipulation to bail out certain middle-class businesses. But it's pretty much the same damn thing. Same bill. Same stuff in there that we didn't want. Well, hey, I mean, what do we expect? Congress was under a hell of a lot of pressure. I mean, they had to pass it. Otherwise, the entire economy would just collapse. Or, actually, were they really not under pressure from the economy, but rather from the investment bankers that desperately wanted to get their hands on this tax money? Or, actually, the foreign investors that wanted to get their hands on that tax money? Yeah, for those of you who didn't know about that, yeah, you heard me right. The reason why that bill was passed was not for the reasons that they've been trying to tell the American public. And many people in the public do understand this. It was not just to bail out bad investors in this country, but actually to bail out investors abroad. They desperately want to get their hands on the money for their bad investments. I'm going to be putting up some videos right there, some links, some YouTube videos which explain this in a lot more detail. People have been lied to again. As usual. This is, you know, the usual thing in politics. American people always get lied to. It's nothing new. It's funny. You know, I still find this funny, and it's not just because of the reasons why I stated in the last vid, but something else. This particular event of having this bill get passed really drove home the fact that democracy doesn't mean shit in this country. It doesn't. You know, a lot of Americans really need to go back to school when it comes to history, because, you know, we keep hearing over and over again, this is a democracy, this is a democracy, this is supposed to be a democracy, our democracy is being taken away. It never was, people. Never was. You're living under an oligarchy, not a democracy, okay? Do yourselves a favor. If you don't understand that, if you're disagreeing with that, go and look up the terms democracy and oligarchy, and then look at the way this country has been run, and you'll realize that I'm right. This has never been a democracy. In fact, if you look it up, you'll find that the Founding Fathers actually did not want this to be a straight democracy, because they felt it was mob rule. They would rather a rule by elite. An enlightened elite, possibly, but an elite nonetheless. And people have used apologetic terms for this, like representative democracy, but it's an oligarchy, people. And it definitely is showing itself to be that now more than ever. Because, I mean, think about it. I think the bill got passed with like 70-something, 76, something like that, had voted yes, and only 20-something voted no. And considering the amount of outrage that I've heard throughout this country by citizens over this type of bill, that means quite a few representatives are voting against what their citizens wanted. You call that a democracy? You weren't being properly represented here. But people will go on believing it. You know, they wrote the letters, they spammed the emails, they sent videos, they said do something about this, do something about this, and it meant nothing. So, I'm not surprised at all of this, because, you know, I've been studying this type of stuff. None of this surprises me. And you know what's also very funny? See, if I was just walking down the street, you know, black guy, dreadlocks and all that, average American looking at me, you know, it's just a black guy. I mean, you know, they're not consciously thinking this, but subconsciously it's automatically typecasting me as an average, typical black American, you know, substandard to average education, doesn't really know too much. And yet, I am pretty sure that if I took the average American white guy, even if he has a better social class than I am, and sat him down and talked about his government and stuff, he'd realize I knew more about how his government works than he did. And I'm the son of two Haitian immigrants. It's hilarious living in this country, the amount of ignorance and people who think they know better. So yeah, I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm definitely not surprised at the fact that they lied to you guys about what the bill was actually for. And I'm also not surprised that, you know, despite what you guys wanted, they blasted it through anyway. But I am wondering something. What are the people going to do about it? What you going to do about it? That's what I really would like to know. See, because the letter writing didn't work, the calling the representatives didn't work, all this, you know, they're determined to pass this bill anyway and make you guys suffer to pay for it with your taxes, especially the middle class. Rich, shit, they're getting bailed out. And rich investment bankers abroad are getting bailed out. They've been screaming for this bill. I mean, check out the news about what happened when the bill first didn't get passed, when it failed to pass. Quite a few investment bankers all around the world were screaming. Kind of strange how they had such a great interest in our economy, unless they had something to do with it. So yeah, I'm not surprised by any of the subterfuge and the false lies and all that, but not false lies, you know, straight lies. What are you guys going to do about it? I know if I was a betting man, where I'd put my money if I had some. Safe money is the American people are probably just going to grumble, maybe write a few more blogs, put up a couple of videos about how this thing sucks, and then pretty much prepare to start freezing by January. A lot more people are going to be freezing this January than in the past few, because this bailout's definitely not going to help the economy out at all, especially since it was made to bail out foreign investors and rich investors in this country, not the people. So the economy's still going to crumble. Because, especially with this huge infusion of money coming in, it's just inflation. So, yeah. What are you guys going to do about it? Safe money goes to the fact that the American people won't do a damn thing. They'll grumble and that's it. I know many other people say that they'll actually revolt. A part of me is thinking that, but that remains to be seen. You know what's also hilarious about this whole thing? I was thinking about this earlier. If this had gone on in France, actually this would never have gone on in France. If they even just heard a hint of a bill like this, that would have been riots and strikes and stuff happening instantly. Say what you want about the French. Yeah, they, for the most part, probably deserve all the stuff that makes fun about them. But you gotta admit, the French don't take shit from their government. Anytime the government tries to pull any shit over them, you got labor union strikes, cities get shut down, government gets besieged. These people know how to keep their government in check. This is a place that had 3 freaking political upheavals in their history. 3 freaking revolutions. These motherfuckers don't play. We make fun of them all the time about, oh, they lose wars, they're a bunch of wimps, pansies, and all that. But, tell you what, they keep their government in check. These for God's sakes, these people have a 36-hour work week standard. Americans in this country can't even get health insurance. But these people were able to wrest out of their government and out of their rich a 36-hour work week. Think about this. What this all boils down to, because the French were like, we're not taking shit from you people. You're going to do what we want because we run this country. We do what we want you to do, or else. Government, you do something we don't like, we're going to come down on you like a house of bricks. So, in essence, that generally means that the French have more balls than the Americans. Think about that shit. We make fun of the French about being sissies and all that type of stuff, but they got more balls than the American citizens when it comes to facing down their government. No comedy writer yet can write comedy of that caliber. I couldn't even come up with that shit if I tried. I mean, that is so hilarious. I mean, so yeah, what are the American citizens going to do about it? Probably nothing. Meanwhile, the French already know how to wrest shit out of their government, and they're supposed to be wimps. That's something Americans should think about. They should really sit down and think about it, because we love making fun of other people all the time and talk about how great we are, but we don't even have the balls to stand up to a government that we think runs under a democracy. Wow. Yeah, guys, really, that's all I'm wondering at this point. What are you going to do?